What's going on, guys? Alright, so I'm here with the rest of my pickups for this month. This is primarily all the NES stuff I got. So, a couple NES games that I did not show you guys, and is that one? Yeah, that's one too. A couple NES games and one system. So let's get to the NES games first. We've got some multiples here. I bought a guy's small childhood collection, and I got a couple games here. I got Baseball Stars. See where we're at here. Okay, Baseball Stars. That's a fun game. It's kind of an RPG elements to it. It's the SNK game. Winter games. We have Ghosts and Goblins, or as I like to say, I like to call it Ghosts. And then we have Legend of Zelda, the gold cartridge. And I got sleeves with all these too. It's pretty cool. And speaking of sleeves, I got sleeves with those games, and I also got a 34 pack of sleeves. So, and I got 5 blue sleeves, or blue cases that say Nintendo on them. Really cool looking. And we got the cases there. Most are black. Maybe a third of them have the NES or the Nintendo red on them. Okay. So that's that. And then, so the next game I got is, I got one of the Flintstones games. I've got The Rescue of Dino and Hoppy. I paid less than $10 for this game. I think I paid like $8.99 or something, but I think it was high 8s. Yeah, fun game. It's an interesting game. It's by Taito, and it's pretty fun. These later year Taito games are pretty good. And Taito's their license for Hanna-Barbera games was actually treated fairly well. Jetsons is a rare game, and it's quite fun also. I think this normally goes for like $12, maybe 15. The next game I got is an American video entertainment game, and that's Venice Beach Volleyball. I don't know if you guys can see that far. It's quite far away right now. Venice Beach Volleyball. Volleyball game. I popped it in to check out what the music sounded like primarily. Let's get a close up on that Jetsons or that Flintstones game there. Alright. Alright, here's a fun game. I got this. This is one of the early 80-something 5-pin games. And that's Clue Clue Land. One of the early release games from the NES. And a lot of people's favorite game. A lot of people say, oh, you know, my favorite game is Clue Clue Land. I grew up with this game. I really like it. It's got a great mechanic. You look at it first and you think it's a Pac-Man clone, but it's really not. You have a hook. Your character has a hook, and you basically go around the screen, and when you hit the pillars, you grab them and you'll swing around, and you can collect the coins, and the coins and the rupees are actually the same rupees from The Legend of Zelda. That's interesting. I didn't check to see if the sound was the same when you pick them up, but it may be. Okay. So one complete inbox game here, and that is, I got a copy of Crystal Mines. This side here's a little smushed, a little crease, but decent. Yeah, we got our styrofoam in there. Good looking manual. There's a sleeve, and there's our Crystal Mines cards here. Alright, and last but not least, I did pick up, this pretty much is the most expensive game I own now. After a really good first month on eBay, like I mentioned, I was able to get, you know, a high-priced game that I wanted, start getting a couple of them out of the way, and that game is Little Samson. So I picked this up off of eBay, and it's in really good condition too. I really don't want to say how much I paid for it, but let's just say I paid a really good price for it. Whatever you see it's selling for, I paid, you know, a really good price for it. So it wasn't that bad. You really want to check these games out when you buy them. I'd say any game over $60 these days that you buy. You know, if you're collecting games and you don't have the safety screw or the star bit, or whatever they call it, safety bit. Get yourself one and start opening up your games when you can check them out. There's just so many repos and home brews out there these days that it's really easy to counterfeit games. So we're getting to the point where games are costing $100, 500 plus, and you really want to know what you're getting. So go online, watch some of the tutorials on how to spot the counterfeits, and take apart a couple of your games and get to know what the chips look like. And next thing is buy from a reputable site. eBay is great. If you have a problem with something, you can return it. And then just know what you're paying for the games. Yeah, so Little Samson, and that's it is a tie-a-tow game, and to boot, this is a fun game because when you buy a game like Hot Slots Poker, or you dump $1,200 into Cheetah Men, you're not getting a fun game. But Little Samson's actually a fun game, and it's a pretty interesting game. It's a tie-a-tow game, so it's going up in price. You got tie-a-tow games, Power Blade 2, Panic Restaurant. These games are just getting ridiculous. They just didn't put out that many of them late in the Nintendo's life, and they're the games to look for now. And if you really want to just stockpile and hoard games, which I know some people do, I wish I had the money for it. I mean, it would be nice to have some treasures for the future that are always going to appreciate and value, and it's always nice when you can say, oh well, I own 2 copies of Battletoads, or I own 3 of this or 4 of that. So yeah. Well, anyways, I'm glad to welcome Little Samson to the collection, and like I said, that's officially the most expensive game I own. There's a couple games that are close. Panic Restaurant, like I said, Power Blade 2, Super Turrican 2, Pocky and Rocky 2. There's a lot of games that are getting up there in value these days. So I think if anybody's serious, really serious about collecting, and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg in the future, save up your money and get the expensive games now before they get too far out of reach, because that time is around the corner. And that's all I have to say. Panic Restaurant will run you $300 something now. 3 years ago it cost $80. So get those rare games now. Alright guys, thanks for checking out my NES pickups. I might have a few more NES things coming in, but I know I have one other thing coming in. I have some manuals that we're going to be able to look at. So until then, guys, have a good one. Peace.